Good evening, world. This is Ivan Omer. It is 6 o'clock in the afternoon. This is going to be my part what? This is going to be my relong series, my part 3 relong series of chapter 3 of Fellowship of the Ring. We're looking at a very interesting video for this. Obviously, right? Looking at a very, very interesting video for this. Right. So what I'll do is I'll babble on for 30 minutes as usual. And after the 30 minutes, I will continue my relong of chapter. I'll babble on for a good, 45 minutes. Then after I babble on for 45 minutes, I will continue my relong of chapter 3, which is 3 is company, obviously. I only have a good 6-7 pages left and I'm done. Yeah, a good 8 pages of reading. 8, yeah, a good 8. Yeah, I have a good 10 pages of reading. So 10 pages, 10 pages, 9, 10 pages, and I'm done. Done chapter 3. So chapter 3 is a good 30 pages. 28, 30 pages, whatever it is. So after I read chapter 3, I'll be ending the 3 is company chapter, which is pretty much just Frodo and Sam. The first part of it is Frodo and Sam preparing to leave the Shire. Frodo, Sam, and Pippin preparing to leave the Shire. Obviously. Frodo, Sam, and Pippin preparing to leave the Shire. And the second half is their journey to Buckland, whatever it is. That's where they meet Merry. And then Frodo ends up seeing... Frodo tells his companions to get off the road. A Black Rider shows up. Frodo's not sure what the Black Rider is. Sam thinks what? Sam thinks the Black Rider senses the presence of the ring, obviously. Frodo's telling him to put the ring on, because the ring can possess you, obviously. And then afterwards, what? Sam's convinced that the Rider is a Rider that talked to his dad in Hobbiton. Pippin disagrees and thinks there's no connection to the Black Rider and the Rider who Samwise father talked to, obviously. And pretty much they sing songs. They camp, make fire, eat breakfast, lunch, whatever it is. Tolkien describes the sunset, all that stuff lands. And then Frodo hears a noise again, and he thinks it's a Black Rider again. And that pretty much sums up what I read so far in chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a very boring chapter. As chapter 3 is just 3 is company. It's just about Frodo, Sam, and Merry, their journey. It's just them walking, talking, camping, and they meet people along the way. Then the Short Comes to Mushrooms is also boring. It's just them walking, talking, Tolkien describing the trees, the sunset, the landscape, all that stuff. It's very boring. As Lord of the Rings, no offense, I'm going to tell you, all you Lord of the Rings nerds out there, Lord of the Rings, for me personally, is a pretty boring series. Right. I'm almost done Fellowship. I'm almost done Return of the King. I'm on book 6 now. So Lord of the Rings has 6 books. I'm on the final book. I only have a good 160 pages left, and I'm done Return of the King. If you don't include the appendixes, if you include the appendixes, I have 200 plus pages. But the story itself, I only have a good 160 pages left around there, and I'm done Return of the King. And Return of the King is the shortest book of the series. Out of the 3 books, Return of the King is the shortest book of the 3 series. Right. I'm not feeling very good today, so I hope I didn't catch COVID, but I mean, I have a scratchy throat, stuffy nose, so, yeah. So, I can't get COVID because I'm assuming I can't get COVID because I have a second cup, obviously. But I'm feeling a bit sick today, obviously. Yeah, so if you see me looking a bit sloppy, you gotta bear with me as I'm feeling a bit sick today. Obviously, as this COVID epidemic is very bad, obviously. So it's probably just some random cold that I caught, obviously. Anyways, to all you Lord of the Rings nerds out there, you're gonna have to excuse the noise because there's people upstairs. To all you Lord of the Rings fans out there, do not get angry with me. As Lord of the Rings, for me personally, it's a boring series. It's pretty boring. Not boring, but it's a pretty boring series for me personally. And I like the movies better than the books. As the movies, I can watch over and over again. Whereas the books, I can't really I can't read the books like 10, 20 times. No, the books I'll probably read like 3 times in my lifetime. 3 times in my lifetime. Obviously. The books I can read 3 times in my lifetime. Whereas the movies I can watch them over and over again like 10 times. I can watch them over and over again. My chest is feeling a bit stiff. I hope I didn't catch the COVID, man. I'm not feeling too good right now. So, because my stepbrother, I'm not going to mention this, it's personal issues, but like, there's some isolation going on in the house, whatever it is. So, but I have a second cup, so even if I caught the virus, I can fight it off. Obviously, fight off the virus. See, my chest is feeling a bit stiff, and you know what I'm saying. So I hope I didn't catch any of that. I hope I didn't catch the coof, man. Which would be bad, obviously, right? Right. Or it might be because I smoke too much. That's probably why my chest can be stiff, because I smoke too much too. I've been smoking cigarettes for the past like 4 years straight. Obviously, right? When I swallow, my throat hurts. See, let me stop babbling on here. So all you Lord of the Rings fans, do not get angry with me, as Lord of the Rings, for me personally, is a pretty boring series. The book is amazing world building, better world building than even Last of Us Aliens, but the story is not as good as Last of Us Aliens, as Last of Us Aliens tops the Lord of the Rings story. As in my opinion, no fantasy novel will be able to top Last of Us Aliens, in my opinion. Trust me, you think I'm crazy now, but once you read my book, you'll finally see for yourself, oh my god, like, once you read my book, you're finally going to be like, oh my god, Ivan's book is actually the best fantasy novel written. Yes, even better than this book here, better than J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. And my book is slightly longer than this whole book here. So this book is thick. You see how thick this book is? Last of Us Aliens is about the same size as this. It's about 30 to like 60 pages longer than this book, single-spaced. It's 192,000 words. This book, Fellowship of the Ring, is 177,000 words. So my book is slightly longer than this whole book here. So it's a long series, but it's not as long as the whole Lord of the Rings is. Lord of the Rings is like 1,200 pages, 1,200 pages for the 3 books. Whereas my book is only like 600 pages for the three volumes. Volume 1 is like a novella. Volume 1 is like 120, 30 pages. Volume 2 is like 180, 200 pages. And Volume 3 is like, I don't know, 280, 300 pages. So it's not the longest series, but it's a top quality series. And I'll sell my print for $100 on Lulu. Buy it on Lulu. Or if you don't want to pay $100, you can pay $22 and you can get the ebook for $22. Those are top notch. Obviously, right? You're looking at something top notch. Right? 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 Hence why what? Hence why I'm going to be so missed, as you're looking at what? You're looking at international fame for me, for the book sales. You're looking at international fame for the book sales, and even crazier fame for the movie. As because I'm acting in the movie, you're looking at unheard of fame for Me and My Wife's Last Hope. For Zaya's movie, you're looking at something top notch. Right? You're looking at something crazy, man. You're looking at crazy international fame for the book sales. Me and my wife are going to be famous. I'm going to be a famous author, and I'm also going to be even more famous movie stars. You're looking at unheard of fame for my movie. Looking at worldwide international fame. Something crazy. Right? It's all battle, right? Let's talk about SkySource. I'm going to keep saying so. For SkySource, Sky Source, right? I'm gonna say this: I only want Hollywood people working for my company. As C-list people are out, so I know all these C-listers who around the world would love to work for my company, but I want the best of the best. I don't want C-list people working for my company. As me and my wife, if I allow C-list people to work for my company, me and my wife would get like 50,000, 100,000 residents. We don't have time to look at all that. No, I only want Hollywood people who work for the Hollywood companies. So for my 7 team, I'll narrow it down to the big 5. That way, me and my wife don't have to look at as much resumes. So I'm gonna say on the resume, when I pull out the ads, I'm gonna say the members of the 7 team had to work for one of the big 5 companies. That way, it makes it easier for me and my wife to look at the resumes. So you have to work for Disney, Warner Bros., Paramount, Universal, obviously, Fox. If they work for one of those companies, and he or she is qualified for the 7 team, for the members of the 7 team, obviously. The doc team, I only want a doc team who worked in Hollywood. The people who did Keeping Up with the Kardashians are good people to hire. People who did those shows, those are good people to hire for what? For your doc crew, obviously. The head chefs, I only want a head chef who owns a restaurant. He has to own a restaurant. And the head chefs, I want them to be Canadian. That way they can make the $400,000. Obviously. And the 2 graphics, I'll hire 3 head chefs, 2 graphic designers, and one web designer. You don't need 2 web designers. 1 web designer is enough. The web designer, I want a web designer who worked for one of the big 5. And I want a graphic designer who worked for one of the big 5 in Hollywood. So if the graphic designer worked in Hollywood, he edited pictures for the posters, all that stuff, those guys are more than welcome to apply. He or she, right? It can be a woman too. He or she is more than welcome to apply. My Sky's company. And the web designer, I want a web designer who worked for the big 5. The reason why I want to narrow it down to the big 5 is the big 5 are the best of the best. I don't want to be looking at so many resumes. So to make it easier, we'll narrow it down to the big 5. That way me and my wife don't have to look at as much resumes. So instead of looking at 2,000 resumes, me and my wife will probably look at maybe 200 resumes. 200, 300 resumes, which is not bad if we narrow it down. Whereas if I allow people who work for the television companies, the bigger indie companies, me and my wife are going to get bombarded with like 3,000 resumes. We don't have time to look at all that. Hence why I'm going to narrow it down to the big 5. That way me and my wife don't have to look at as much resumes. Obviously. Right? $13 minutes here. And that's how top-notch my company, you guys can see the future. You already know. Like, because I have the keys, you guys can see the future. You know, in a couple of years from now, me and my wife are going to start Sky Source. And you're looking at what? You're looking at something unheard of for my Sky Source company. You're looking at something top-notch for my Sky Source company, man. Me and my wife are going to, our Sky Source will be a top-notch brand, man. And you're walking into where I fucking saved your ass, obviously. Because my wife cries every night. It's fucking annoying. If I don't save her, the crying will never stop. She's going to cry every night because she can't see, because she sold out, even though it's her fault. She sold out, and now she regrets selling it. Now she can't see me, obviously. When you guys set the whole thing up, obviously, you might knock me out of that rock. But because you knocked me out of that rock and you purposely touched her, now, at nighttime, she sees hell and she cries every night because you fucking touched her, obviously. When I put a rule to not touch her, and then you guys chose to touch her anyways, because you guys are wicked people, obviously. Like, it's funny. You guys act like good people. You know what I'm saying? You put a rule for COVID. Hey, make sure you wear a mask during COVID, and that way no one gets infected. When Ivan puts a rule, don't touch his wife, we touch his wife. It's proving how wicked evil you guys are. You guys are nothing but actors. You're Hollywood actors, pretty much, right? You act good on camera. You act all professional on camera. Then when it comes to Ivan VJ, your true demonic nature shows. Do not touch VJ. If you touch VJ, Ivan has to die, and you choose to touch her anyways. And then when it comes to COVID, the government's all strict. Make sure you wear a mask. Make sure you wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you can catch COVID and you can die and all stuff. And then when it comes to when Ivan puts a rule, you fucking touch his wife. Yeah, proving how wicked and evil you guys are. You guys are nothing but actors. And you're wicked people, obviously. Yeah. A bit sloppy, you gotta bear with me because I'm not feeling too good right now, man. I hope I didn't catch the coof, man. I highly doubt I did because I have a second cup, but man, I'm feeling a bit weird right now, man. So. It's not good, you know what I'm saying? After this, I'm gonna take a shower, take a nice walk, go to the store. Walking is good for you. I'll go take a walk, get a pack of smokes, get beer, and I'll order shawarma for the last time. And my remaining money that I have, I'll just get smokes. For the remaining like 13 days, I'll just go to the store and get smokes. Cause I'm running out of money. So this is the last day I'll get beer and smokes and food. Whereas all the other days I'll just get smokes. And I'll eat the food at home upstairs. Obviously. Right? Yeah, man, that's how Thomas Mascar's company is. And hence why those Hollywood actors chose him for Zanus. They're gonna beg their fucking asses off. Because of what? Because Skysers is a better company than Hollywood, man. Skysers, you guys can see the future. You already know how Thomas Mascar company is. Skysers will be the biggest brand in the business. It'll be bigger than all those big 5 companies. Well, Disney owns Fox now, but it'll be bigger than Disney, Warner Bros., Universal, Lionsgate. It'll be bigger than Netflix. It'll be bigger than all those companies in quality, man. My company will be so top notch. You can see the future. You know when Zanus of Zanus gets released, you see my doc. You know how top notch my company is. You guys can see the future. You know how top notch my Skysers company will be. You're looking at a top notch company, man. Top notch company me and my wife are gonna own. Looking at a top-notch company, man. That's how top-notch Mascar's company would be. Hence why I just want to pay this fee and get it over with. The way I can finally get my freedom. My wife can get my freedom with me. And then I can finally live the life, man. I don't know what it's like to travel overseas. I've been on a plane before, but like I've never traveled overseas. I've only been to the U.S., the United States, and Canada. That's it. So I've been to the States. I've been to a few places in the States and a few places in Canada. That's it. I've never been outside of Canada. And so when I see my wife and when I fly on a plane to Los Angeles, it's gonna be cool to me because I've never been on a plane since I was 3 years old. And I remember I got knocked out of Iraq because I don't have memory of being on a plane. And so when I fly to Los Angeles, that's gonna be cool to me because I've never been on a plane before. When I fly overseas, that's gonna be brand new to me. I've never been overseas before. Whereas VJ's been overseas many times, just traveled to other countries. Once I go overseas, it's gonna be all brand new to me. Hence why when I step on that plane and I head to Los Angeles, I might even cry because I don't know what it's like to be on a plane, man. Because the stepfamily's locked all the doors on me. I'll finally know what it's like to be in a relationship. I've never been in a relationship before, so after me suffering death and the horror mess, I finally know what it's like to be in a normal relationship. But you guys are fucking crazy ass people. Hence why I'm pacing out. I'm not gonna do like that. I finally know what it's like to be in a relationship after suffering death and the war mess. You guys are crazy fucking people, obviously. I finally know what it's like to have money and travel overseas and be responsible and pay my own bills, drive my own car, build my own condo, buy my own jet. I finally know what it's like to pay my own bills. Yeah. Let's see. That's why I'm peacing out. I'm not just doing like that. That's how my wife will cry too. Because even though my wife knows what it's like to travel overseas, she knows what it's like to be rich, she doesn't know what it's like to have her freedom. Obviously. So the difference, you see the contrast with me and VJ. VJ knows what it's like to be in a relationship. She had boyfriends, obviously. She knows what it's like to travel overseas. She knows what it's like to pay her bills and to have money and all stuff. But she doesn't know what it's like to have freedom. Hence why Victoria Justice is going to cry when I meet her. Whereas me, I'm the opposite. I know what it's like to have freedom, but I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. I don't know what it's like to have money. I don't know what it's like to pay my own bills, to drive my own car, to travel overseas. Hence why I'm going to cry. Me having money for the first time, I'm going to cry. Because I don't know what it's like to be responsible, be in a relationship, and travel overseas. Whereas VJ knows what it's like to be in a relationship and travel overseas also, but she doesn't know what it's like to be free. Hence why both of us are going to cry. It's brand new to both of us. VJ's freedom is brand new to VJ. Ivan having money and being in a relationship is brand new to him. Hence why both him and VJ are going to cry when they see each other, obviously. Because VJ doesn't know what it's like to have freedom, to be rich and to be free. She knows what it's like to be rich, but she doesn't know what it's like to be rich and free. As I told you, having your freedom is worth more than even money, man. As I'd rather be someone who makes $100 grand a year and be free than be someone who's a billionaire and I'm fucking dirty to say if I sold my soul. Obviously. Hence why even though I have to pay a price to be with my wife and all stuff, I'm paying this be to get my freedom and to be rich. As I don't want to be what? I don't want to be in Hollywood and sell my soul and be a dirty fucking slave and be rich. No. I want to be rich and free. That's why I'm paying this fee for my freedom and to be rich. Because I want nothing to do with the Hollywood system, obviously. I want nothing to do with the Hollywood system. Right? 20 minutes here. VJ will also cry because she doesn't know what it's like to be a billionaire also. So even though even though VJ was rich, it's still going to be brand new to both of us. As VJ doesn't know what it's like to own her own jet. VJ flies commercial. Whenever she travels to other countries with her sister, she flies commercial, obviously, which sucks. It sucks flying commercial when you have to wait in line for hours. It really sucks flying commercial. VJ flew commercial, obviously. You hear the noise upstairs. You hear the noise upstairs. VJ knows what it's like to fly commercial. She knows what it's like to travel around the world, obviously, but she has to watch how she spends her money. Yeah, she stays at suites and all that stuff. When she stays at those suites, she has to watch how she spends her money. As it's affecting her budget a lot, obviously. Whereas once she's a billionaire with me, we can stay at the top-notch suites in Dubai, all around the world, not affecting her budget at all, obviously. And VJ doesn't know what it's like to fly privately and own her own jet. She doesn't know what it's like to own her own $100 million Rooftop condo. She doesn't know what it's like to own her own $35 million yacht. Whereas now, when she's a she doesn't know what it's like to own her own film entertainment company, bigger than all the film companies in Hollywood. And it's going to be brand new to both of us. It's going to be more brand new to me because I was poor my whole life. So it's going to be really, really brand new to me because I don't know what it's like. Everything is going to be brand new to me, period. Relationships, having money, traveling overseas, everything is brand new to me. Whereas VJ, the only thing that's brand new to her is she's free now, and she's a billionaire now. So before she was worth like, I don't know, a couple million, and now she's a multi-billionaire with me. Hence why when VJ registers for a bank card, she's gonna cry because she now has her freedom, which is a good feeling. It's good to be free, man. That's why those actors are gonna beg, obviously, because they're gonna get their freedom when they sign on for my movie, obviously. And VJ is now a multi-billionaire with Ivan. Hence why VJ is definitely gonna cry. When she gets that bank card, she's definitely gonna cry. She's either gonna tear up, or she's gonna cry. Guaranteed. She might not cry, but I guarantee you when she gets that card, she might cry because she'll now know what I did for her, man. I fucking suffered death. I wrote this amazing fantasy novel. Because of the keys and me writing this amazing novel, she's able to what? She's able to live a multi-billion-dollar life with me, obviously. And you're fucking welcome, obviously. And again, you guys can see the future. You know how top much of a company me and Marv are gonna own. You're looking at a top-notch company we are going to own, man. As VJ's one dream is to star in a big budget movie with her husband, obviously. That's her one dream. Is to star in a big budget movie with her husband. 23 minutes here, babbling on. Right? VJ's dream is to star in a big budget movie with her husband. Star in a big budget movie with her husband, obviously. That's VJ's dream. Obviously, right? VJ's dream is to star in a big budget movie with her husband. That's VJ's ultimate. Her dream is to see Ivan and to do the personal things with Ivan. And she also wants to start. She obviously wishes that she can be in a movie. That's never going to happen because the doors are all locked on her. The only movies VJs can do are shitty indie movies. Shitty indie movies. You notice how all the movies that she does are all flops. And they're all shitty indie movies. Why? Because the doors are all locked on her. Hollywood's never, the stepfamilies are never going to let her do a big budget movie. Because they know if she does a big budget movie and they open the doors for her movies will beat the record. They'll do billions. They'll do like $3 billion. They'll end up being Avengers and all that stuff. And she'll end up what? She can demand a high salary. She can demand $20 million and like 10% of the royalties, 5%, 10%. She's so powerful. She could demand 10%, 20% of the royalties. Hence why the stepfamily's made sure, okay, do not have her do a big budget movie because if we do a big budget movie, we open the doors for her in Hollywood. She'll end up ruling over Hollywood. Even though we own her finances, VJ would be a multi-billionaire right now, which is power, obviously. They don't want what? They don't want her rising to power, obviously. And it's either way, the stepfamilies want their full cake, obviously. When Ivan's poor, when Ivan's free, he's fucking poor. When VJ's in Hollywood, yeah, she's rich, but she's not as rich as she should be. She's a survivor. She's worth she has like $1 million in her bank. Because either way, they want their full cake, obviously. Right? 25 minutes here. You might hear some noise upstairs. Yeah, guys, I'm not feeling too good right now, man. I don't know I hope I didn't catch the fucking coof, man. I don't think I did, but I mean, I'm not feeling too good today, man. Yeah. Yeah. I have a stuffed nose, a scratchy throat. I had a bit of stiffness in my chest earlier. It's really weird. Yeah. What else is there to talk about? Yeah. So my 5-movie plan, my first movie I'll be doing in a couple years from now will be Last of Zetas, based on my amazing fantasy novel. You're looking at the best story told. Then you have The Great Escape organizational movie. The Great Escape should be released in the early 2030s. 2032 around there, I should be releasing The Great Escape. 2032, 2033 around there, I'll be releasing The Great Escape. 2031, 2032, 2033. Around that time, we'll be releasing The Great Escape. And after The Great Escape, I'm going to make an amazing romance movie. You're looking at They're Unique, which is what? Story about me and my wife. A love story with me and my wife. Like an amazing movie. There's a good chance that might be the woman's favorite movie. Because women are into romance, obviously. But in my opinion, I don't think any story will top Zanus. Zanus will have the best story. It'll be the best movie out of all my 5 movies. Guaranteed. There's some people who might like Great Escape better or They're Unique, but like I highly doubt it, man. Last of Zanus will be the best. Will be my best movie out of the 5 movies. Obviously. But even though Last of Zanus is the best story, VJ and Ivan look cooler in the Great Escape movie because you see us in the modern times speaking modern English, kicking ass. Hence why it's cooler seeing Ivan in the organization movie, but Zanus is still a better story, still a better movie. It's a better story, obviously. The first movie will be Last of Zanus, based off my amazing fantasy novel that I wrote. Best fantasy novel written, by the way. My second movie will be The Great Escape organizational movie. So me and my wife, I don't know. I might do a thing where it starts off with me. Me and my wife were unemployed. We can't find jobs. We're frustrated. We go to the bar. This mysterious man, he's at the bar. He buys us around. He tells us that he works for a mysterious organizational company. We reject him a few times, and the third time, he gives us our card. He's like, think about it, and he hands us like $2,000 in cash. Me and my wife accept. We think about it. We accept the job. We give the guy a call. We go to Italy for training. So you have us. We go to Italy for training. Then we start work, and everything is nice. And later on, we found out the company's dirty, and we're on the run. They sent him after us. They sent professional top-notch him after us. And me and my wife are kicking ass, man. While we're on the run, man. Looking at an amazing movie for that. Imagine something like Company Man when Ben Affleck and all them are looking for jobs. When Ben Affleck's looking for jobs, you get this sad team who are looking for jobs, and then we get hired by this organizational company. We're living a life, we're rich, we find out it's dirty, and then we're on the run and we're kicking ass. Amazing story. And They're Unique, you're also looking at an amazing story. How, you know what I'm saying? Dawn's parents and Josh's friend are jealous of Dawn's and Josh's relationship. So bad to the point where Dawn ends up running away with Josh. It's an amazing story, obviously. Her family's rich. They you know what I'm saying? They don't want Dawn being with Josh. They meet in secret. You're looking at an amazing romance story for that. After that, you have the amazing Hidden Vampire movie. Looking at an amazing movie for that. A couple gets married in Los Angeles. They go on a honeymoon on the ocean, and their boat capsizes. and they end up landing in this mysterious island. And they find out that there's vampires living on an island. They have to they're trying to survive. Again, an amazing movie for that. Then finally, last but not least, is the Western gangster movie. The Western gangster movie is about a gang war in the Western world. That's all I know. That's all I can think of right now. But I want my fifth movie to be a Western gangster movie. Look at something top notch. But in my opinion, the best movie will be Last of Us Angeles. Nothing will top Last of Us Angeles out of my 5 movies. Then the second best will probably be the Great Escape movie. And then third, I'd say, for me, the worst movie is probably going to be like They're Unique. Because They're Unique is a romance story, like, you know what I'm saying? Because romance stories are not usually better than action movies. Because action movies is when people kick ass, that's where it's at, obviously. But Victoria Justice might like They're Unique the best, because women are into romance movies, obviously. But in my opinion, the best movie will be Last of Us Angeles, as no movie will top that. None of my 5 movies will top Last of Us Angeles, in my opinion. If you write an amazing script and follow the story, I can't see any of my 5 movies, any of my other 4 movies topping The Last of Us Angeles. Hence why those actors chosen for Angeles are lucky, as guaranteed they're going to be, out of all the chosen actors who are B-list actors for all my other movies, these actors, because the A-list actors don't count, because A-list actors are already big in Hollywood, but all the B-list actors chosen for all my other movies and Rising Stars, the B-list actors chosen for what? Well, no. All the actors chosen for Zanes are going to be the most successful out of all the actors for my 5 movies. Guaranteed, they're going to be the most successful. They're going to have the most successful careers out of all the other actors chosen for my other movies will be successful too, but they're not going to be as successful as the actors chosen for Zanes, because Zanes is a unique story, and those actors are going to be fighting devils on the big screen, man. They're looking at literal demonic beings on the screen. You're looking at the devil himself, Eritad, Ephesus, his son, the wolves, the bats. You're looking at little devils on the screen. You also have the cursed demon ancestors of the South. Hence why, in my opinion, I don't think any of my 5 movies will top Last of Us Angeles. Last of Us Angeles, you're looking at one of the best, if not the best story ever told in the motion picture. I'm going to show my camera here.